Okay, this is the second time I've tried recording this. Assuming this recording makes the light of day, I'm just going to preface it with the fact that there will be Nehrim and Arquin spoilers in this series, so please do not watch the series if you do not want those games spoiled. Anyway, this is Enderal. A little game you might have heard me mention like 500,000 times. It's a possibility, who knows. Point is, it's got one hell of a ride, I tell you what. Oh. Oh dear. Not exactly the most welcoming sight. Horses? Book on the nutrition business is... Meat is life. Even the ash people who were populating this world before us knew that. Each time they killed an enemy in a battle, they tore out the liver and heart of the fallen and ate them together with their family. By doing so, just as everyone knows, the strength of the beaten enemy is passed on. But as we are living in a time in which eating fellows is nonsensically seen as barbaric, we, the friends of the bloody meat, have to settle for animal sources. It seems pretty good. Not suspicious at all. Just a normal book. Have one of those in my local library. Apparently Daddy is a pious man.
Oh, hey there. I didn't see you coming. So, how did it go? Did you find it? Where are we? We're at home, silly. Where else would we be? Just Mommy, sister, you and me. Now tell me, how did it go? Did you find it? No? Pity. Maybe you're simply looking in the wrong places. Did you ever think of that? Oh well, who knows? Say, why don't you go inside and see if you can help Mommy with the cooking? The Creator was kind to us today and sent a big fat elk right in front of my bow. Alright?
If that's how you... I agree. Sounds like a good idea. It suddenly seems like a very bad idea. Oh. Oh dear. That's a normal sight. Just a normal day work for Daddy.
My, I totally forgot what a mess I left here. But I was right, wasn't I? A real gem we've got here. Well then, let's waste no more time and get to it, shall we? What? Now when you look at that, I totally forgot about them. They're dead, don't you remember? You murdered them back then, both of them. But hey, no use crying over spilled milk, right? At least this means there's more meat for the two of us. You still remember how to do this, right? First, off with the skin. Slice up the belly, then out with the entrails. I'll look for a nice sharp knife in the meantime to cut off the head. I don't think either of us wants to eat that, do we?
I don't know, Dad. I like brains.
Oh, silly, what's this again? We both know that's a lie. You did it. I remember it all. First, You set this horrible fire to your sister's crib. She screamed and screamed, and Mommy heard it, but when she finally got there, nothing was left of her but burnt flesh. And, oh gosh, do we really need to go through this again? You know how sad it makes me when you do this. You killed them, period. No matter how
Sorry.
often you tell me you did it changes nothing. You hear me? Nothing. Now please, let's start cooking. I'm so bloody damn hungry. Oh, by the Creator's name, why are you telling these lies? Isn't it enough that you murdered us? Do you really have to bother me over and over with your stupid, pathetic, and pointless whining? Sometimes I wish the Creator would have made me just a little less merciful. Just a little less pious. Because then I would have realized that you were tainted by sin long before any of this had ever happened. And instead of raising you, feeding you, and loving you like a father does, I would have put you in the horse trough right after you were born. Yes, I should have killed you. I should have just killed you. Just like you killed us. And now, you think you're safe because we're all under the earth, don't you? Well, listen up, my child. You are wrong. And do you know why? Because the dead don't forget. Do you hear me? The dead don't forget. Now enough of this useless chatter. I'm bloody starving. Bring me the meat, you spoiled brat. Bring it. Bring me a nice crisp piece of meat. 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 Bring me a nice crisp piece of meat.
A nice day in summer. What a beginning.
Let's begin with a question. It might sound simple to you at first, but I pray you to think about it. What distinguishes a free man from a slave? For now, however, let us start this story where another one ended 3 years ago, with the death of the Lightborn. For 4,000 years they had reigned over this world, 7 arcanists who, through their magic, had acquired eternal life. In a time of chaos, they gave mankind what they thought it needed most, to be ruled over with an ironclad, fair hand. Within just 1 century, they united the shattered lands, and a single century later, their human origin was forgotten. They became gods, or Lightborn, as they let themselves be worshipped as. Yet the longer they reigned, the louder the voices grew that accused them of tyranny. The loudest being that of Naranzul Aranthio. And he succeeded in achieving what was once thought impossible. He gathered an army, overturned the Lightborn, and gave back freedom to mankind. However, the price for this was high, because where there are gaps of power, fights erupt. As such, this world grew into what it is today, shattered, riven, and broken into pieces. But all of this was merely a diversion, so that no one would notice something else. The death of the Lightborn had set something into motion, a clockwork. Having long stood still, its gears now once again slowly began to turn. This is the story of someone who wanted to be free.
So as you can tell, the production value of this game is up quite a bit from Nehrim.
Shh, hey, quiet, damn it. You wanna wake up the entire ship or what?
Well, sorry. That was a bit harsh. I'm just nervous, that's all. It was that dream again, wasn't it? Uh-huh. Seriously, if we had a penny for every night since we met where you woke up screaming, we'd probably be traveling to Enderal in our own starship and... well, not like this. Some things never change, I guess. Do you ever ask yourself if maybe you blame yourself for all of this? For what happened to your family, I mean? As determined as ever. I guess you're right. But who knows? Maybe everything is going to be different now. It's strange, isn't it? The way life sometimes goes. Now, if you had told me that a few weeks ago, I would have at the very least called you insane. But if the stories are true, there's no better place for a fresh start. Can you believe it? Apparently there aren't even any slaves on Enderal. It's amazing. Only this whole blind passenger thing is making my head ache. We're talking about 500 pennies here. Even if we're able to find a job over there, we will still need the money for ourselves. Don't fool yourself. What we're doing here is theft. Unfortunately. But anyway, what's done is done. I just hope the Endralians are easier on Outlanders than the Nehrims are. Your mother was a fugitive as well, wasn't she? Where exactly did she come from? You've told me 100 times, but I just keep on forgetting it.
Well, this is where we can pick our race. We have 4 races to pick from this time. These 3 were never in Nehrim, for the record. We have the Quarians, Kiorians, I don't quite know. They hail from Kira. Have Kalayans, they hail from Kalay. And Arazil, they hail from Arazil. And the Eterna technically hail from Myrarnath. So generally, Eterna benefit in magic. As you know from my Nehrim playthrough, we're definitely going to be the Eterna. Don't expect too much customization, though. Jesus. I think I'll go with that one. I can't exactly see what the colors are. I'm gonna go with this one. As you can't tell, I'm not putting too much effort into character creation. I never really do. Trying to find the hair that I did in the test run. That's not it. I don't think that's the one. I found it. Yes, this is the one I want. As you know me, blonde hair. And, as usual, Serena Lovehart.
An Eterna, right. She was one of the last of her kind to leave Maya Aweneth, wasn't she? Ironic. Seems some parents pass on their fates to their children. Anyway. Whew, I'm gonna hit the hay for an hour or so. It's your turn to stand... Wait. You hear that? Shit. Someone's coming.
Women nowadays just don't want a man to court them anymore. That's the problem. I tell you, sometimes I long for the good old days, back when I could lift a skirt and nobody would bat an eye. Anyway, enough of the chit-chat. Now, where did I put that key?
Oh, blazes, what do they want down here? The lamp! Quickly! Put out the lamp! Good. Now, quiet.
Ah, here we go. Ah, smells like Vaughtier's balls down here. Say now, what's that chest supposed to look like?
Small, with the crest of the Blue Island Coalition on it, I think.
Ah, yeah, right. Black Guardian knows what the captain wants it for this shortly before arriving. You go look upstairs. I'll see if I can find it down here.
Okay.
Oh, shit. I don't leave us any choice. We need to do something quick. You take on the old guy, I'll take the young one. Go!
Oh, come on, I can take the young one. I can take Tyson.
Someone's dead.
Throw a hook to the face! Come on, dodge! You can do it!
Locked. That's the thing I like about the finishers in
Oh, man.
Skyrim.
The plan. Not at all. What in blazes are we going to do now? Yes, of course. That makes sense. One of them said it's not much longer until we arrive. With a little luck, no one will notice they're gone until then. Come on. Help me search. There must be a rope or something. I thought we were over the hump when we made it on board. It just can't ever be easy, can it?
If Nehrim's taught me anything, no.
The probabilities.
In a moment, I'm going to see if I can increase the brightness. I'm going to see if I can't increase the brightness. Fuck.
Against you.
What the? Who are you?
You are confused by my sudden appearance. But my identity is irrelevant, as are you, dear Sirius. Unfortunately.
What? Oh shit, please don't tell anyone we're down here, please. We didn't mean any harm. These guys were just...
You ask that I not reveal you, for your intentions were not evil. And I believe you. But sadly, it's not compassion that rules my deeds. The first beat of a wing must happen. It is the only way the probabilities will fall into place. This is the way it has to be. The way it has been for eons. I am sorry.
What the? Oh no! No! What are you doing, please? Please don't leave! We just wanted to...
After we had left Oastin, the two of you hid in the cargo and lived on our stocks. Then when Rick and Sebald found you, you gave them a beating. And all of a sudden, a veiled woman appeared and knocked you out with wild magic. Is that about it?
Yes, I know it sounds crazy, but it's the truth. Please, my dame, we didn't have a choice. You've got to believe us. The war, we just wanted a second chance. That's all.
A second chance. Yes, I think I understand you. You wanted to start a new life in a new land. And as my ship is one of the only ships still sailing the route since the wars, you were simply forced to board without pay.
Yes, we could work for you. You know, we could scrub the deck, peel potatoes, anything to pay off our debt. And as soon as we've arrived...
Heartbreaking. How truly, truly heartbreaking. But let's be honest. You did have a choice. You could have signed on like all the others did, but you didn't. Instead, you've nested on my ship like flesh maggots, enjoying the good life while my crew actually had to earn their keep. And now you're feeding me this bullshit about veiled women and wild magic? How stupid do you think I am? I know your kind. You are cutthroats, filchers. At least have the guts to admit it.
What? No. You're wrong. Please, just let me explain.
I don't give a shit for your explanations. If there's one thing I hate more than cowards, it's people trying to pluck my heartstrings. You two are scum. And there's only one kind of punishment for scum on my ship. Pull him up, Ruger.
Captain Nate.
Do it.
Of course, Captain. I'm sorry, lad. We should have stayed in Nehrim.
But... You can't do this.
Oh, believe me, I can.
No,
Oh, well, look at that. Someone's woken up. Rise and shine. Tie her and her comrade together and feed them to the fish. Good luck in your new life, friend.
Tell me, what is time to the dead? Dreaming anyway.
So many people just talk, and
How
never
does it feel to be powerless?
This is about your damn pride, Tina.
I know I'm not real. At least not according to your definition.
I know damn well I'm doing.
It's just... There was nothing I could do.
This isn't happening. But then again,
This just isn't happening.
what is reality anyway?
Selfish fool!
So welcome to Enderal. So instead of the perk menu, like in Skyrim, we have a Zen place called a strange place, I believe, according to the save menu. And we have a memory point, which is just basically a perk point. However, unlike in Skyrim, regular Skyrim, we can choose to apply it to anything that is on the skill tree without needing a skill requirement. So, personally, I'm going to go for this game's equivalent of Conjuration, and this game's equivalent of heavy armor. So first of all, I'm going to unlock the perk, the starting perk for the combat tree. And as you can see, the perk gives you a bonus. This is similar to Shouts. As you can tell, this memory unlocks all warrior disciplines for you. It also reduces the weight of heavy armor by 10% and grants you the talent Rage, which raises your weapon's damage for a short time. Each tier we take of this talent increases the duration. Now, it's not always an increase in duration. It can be an increase in damage or what it takes, but generally, it's a good idea to... Well, first of all, it's a good idea to focus in one tree and then another tree. Well, not over here. No, wait, over here, yeah. It's a good reason to focus on one tree or 2 trees at once. Because if you get 10 perk points in one tree and 10 in the other, you will unlock something called a synergy. So, in case you start playing this game, keep that in mind. Of course, I can't stop you. You could just, like, dump it all and, like, all over the place if you wanted to. I couldn't stop you, but, like, just keep that in mind. So anyway, we're gonna go. I, forgot it was Y. Oof. It starts with the dreams. Find a way to reach inland. Okay. So we don't have anything but clothes to our name at the moment. As for magic, we have that Tempest thing. And, the meditation. And we seem to be under the weather of some weird fever. Fever. Currently, all it does is decrease our carrying capacity. Now, with our cultural bonus, we get increased entropy, elementalism, mana, and enchanting. I'll explain what the different schools of magic are eventually. Actually, this is the hero menu. It's basically where your overall stats can be viewed. As you can see, we're level 1 and have no learning or crafting points. Our class is currently Adventurer. As it says here, if you invest at least invest 10 points into a fine trees, you unlock a special class. And this is our experience, as you know. Just like in Nehrim. This is our arcane fever meter. But for the love of God, don't fucking let it get to 100. And stamina, mana, and health, as usual. Okay, so psionics. I don't remember what this constitutes as in Skyrim terms. Elementarism is obviously destruction. Mentalism is alteration, I believe. Light magic is basically healing magic. Entropy is basically conjuration, I believe. And psionics, I'm not sure still. So yeah, entropy and psionics are probably going to be something that we take an interest in, along with heavy armor and two-handed, maybe. I'm still thinking about it. And here's our worksman stats, which are raised through crafting points instead of learning points. Obviously, we have alchemy, we have sleight of hand, which is basically pickpocket, lockpicking, self-explanatory, and rhetoric, which is our speechcraft. Handicraft is obviously like smithing, and enchanting is self-explanatory, obviously. So that's basically the whole thing. I enjoy how they like renamed the stats to be more in tune with the game world. So as you can see, we've washed up on some place and are not sure what the fuck is going on, but hopefully we'll find out soon. Obviously, you can bring up your journal with this. You also have to excuse me, because there's so much grass that it actually makes it hard for me to see things. I'm probably going to miss quite a bit. A knife, as Manly Badass Hero says. If I'm doing two-handed, I'm just going to let this cover it for the moment. Okay, it's going to take adjusting to get used to the fact that the menu is operated differently from Oblivion. And obviously Nehrim. Just to get myself comfy with using two-handed weapons, I'm going to use a sword. Well, first of all, there's stuff. As you know, mining is much more, interesting in, Skyrim, to say the least. Oh, we got a garnet. I'm Steven Universe. No, I'm kidding. Okay, so get our first spot of combat. It's not of anything, like, intense, though. It's just a bunch of rats. Where are the rats? Okay, they're there. Pit rats. So, for the record, if you haven't noticed yet, our stats do not increase by usage. They increase by reading books, which is what the points are for. In Nehrim, you could still, like, gain experience. It was just at a neutered pace. In this game, there's no such thing. You have to use books to level up your skills, which cost money or can be found in the wild, in dungeons and such. And as I'm about to demonstrate, give me a moment. As I'm about to demonstrate, there's that song again. Okay. As you see, we picked up a book. It is under consumables. As is said, this book is an apprentice learning book. We can raise our one-handed skill up to 25, and then we have to use a higher level, an adept learning book, I believe it's called. It's interesting way of, making it not too easy to gain stats. Anyway, let's put that, key there. As you can see, it's raising up these platforms. I already know which one's going to be the last one, so I'm just going to, like, walk over to the last one. Sorry. I'm readjusting. If you hear a noise in the background, my mother is vacuuming. Hopefully it's not too loud, though. So if you were watching my Okami playthrough, get comfy with, fucking the sound of my keyboard and mouse again. Like, more so, because I was obviously stopping to talk to people and look things up, but it's unavoidable because I am not using a controller like I did the first time. The only reason I used a controller the first time is because I wanted to, like, I had a laptop, a shitty laptop, kind of, and I wanted to, like, play it on the TV, so I'd hook it up to my TV. And then I'd have a controller, so I'd play it, like, on the TV while I had, was comfy in a chair in front of the in front of the TV and a computer, so yeah. Anyway, as is in Nehrim, there are things that look like clothes that are actually usable for damn, what am I trying to say? Things that look like clothes that are usable for armor, which is very welcoming. I mean, which is very welcome. Should probably pull out a torch. The American version of torch. Because I know, like, British people call, like, flashlights torches. I mean, not all of them, obviously, but it's from what I've heard. So I've beaten this game twice. Once, in the original release, and the second time was with, Forgotten Stories, because originally you had to download it off of a, torrent or whatever, and then, like, install it, to Skyrim. But they set up something with, Valve, and were able to, like, put it on the store to simplify the process of updating and installing it. So, they decided, hey, this is the only way our, like, expansion is going to work for the game. So, they released it on Steam, titled Forgotten Stories, because that was the extra content they wanted to add, but apparently it wouldn't be possible with the non-Steam version. So, yeah. We found a book that is particularly to my liking here, Heavy Armor. So, I'm gonna read that. I try not to be too, like, hand-holdy or informative all the time, but, like, I feel like I should just, like, explain some stuff in case someone wants to actually try this game themselves. Not that I have that many people watching me, but still. Also, in case you haven't noticed, our health does not regenerate automatically. We either have to eat food or, like, sleep or drink potions in order for our health to regenerate. And, as you could probably guess, drinking health potions and using healing spells increases our fever. A way to deter, like, mindless healing. But once you get to a certain point, I assume you can just, like, negate the effect of healing and, like, getting arcane fever. And also, hey, look, an ice claw. Remember those from, Nehrim? Though, this time they actually have a very unique texture, I believe. They actually look like blue mushrooms, or whatever you want to call them. It increases your carrying capacity, as always. It's nice that it has its own, like, model instead of, like, being a retextured Stinkhorn. Stinkclaw, yeah. That's some fucking Stanklaw you got there, girl. Now, let's continue on before I, like, make more of an ass of myself. Okay, there's our first healing spell. As said, worsens your arcane fever the, like, more you use it. The worsening of the fever can be lessened by the perk Mental Expert. Okay, good to know. Not that I'm going to really use it unless I really need to, because that's not what I'm trying to focus on in this playthrough. I have not really used light magic and whatnot because of the caveat of, and increasing your, what the fuck was I gonna say? Increasing your, God. Increasing your arcane fever. So I was just looking in the inventory, looking for the book again, because me, the fucking dumbass I am, forgot that I already used it. Whoops. Anyway, as much as I'd like to use a sword here, there is, very much a possibility without turning down the difficulty. We will die, so... I'm going to search out this fucker. I do love archery in this game more than, Oblivion. It has a nice, like, swing to it. The animation is, like, a lot more, like, interesting. Get back here, you little shit. Well, more like big shit, because you're a mud elemental, but whatever. Let's put the beat down on him. There we go. Alright, let's pull that torch back out. Psionic push. For the record, these only apply to humans and creatures. I do not think they apply to undead. Psionics is a thing that I eventually need to get around to explaining, because I don't quite understand it myself. We might as well, like, try it out when we get a chance, though. And they're laying crusty bread, my favorite. Yeah, satiation is basically the game's way of, saying, hey, this gives you health regeneration for a while, but only out of battle. Because, eating food to regenerate health does not work in battle. And I believe when in combat, mana regeneration is neutered. Which is why you need something called mana fungi. It increases your magic regeneration rate. Oh. Last time on my test run, last time I checked this place, it gave me a recipe for an iron shield. But yeah, in order to craft certain things in this game, or rather anything really, you need a recipe for it. Thankfully, recipes are not that heavy, but I assume the weight, I mean, if you're not careful, the weight can pile up, I guess. From what I've read, things that you create are better than stuff you find in the wild, so I don't have the ability to confirm this yet, though. No, I wanted this psionic spell on my other hand. There we go. That's one of the things that I like about, Skyrim. Congratulations, we are now on the outside. And I just killed a firefly. Is this something you can do in Skyrim? It's one of the things I like about Skyrim, the ability to dual wield or have like something in your other hand. Granted, when you dual wield, you attack a little slower, but it's better than nothing. Also, dual wielding can be fucking broken as fuck in the vanilla Skyrim. Like, if there've been points where I've been like, hey, I want to do a one-handed run with a shield, and the next thing you know, I'm fucking dual wielding axes, killing everything with power attacks. They could have balanced it a little, but yeah, I can't complain. It's fun. Okay, so more mana fungi and food to regenerate our health. Once we collect this, we should immediately get a level up. Because as you can tell, quests, objectives, and whatnot can give you experience. There we go. Level ups are a bit different, differently handled in this game. You still don't need to sleep like Oblivion, but like, it just pops up a screen. It's like, hey, which do you want? Personally, I'm going to go with health for the first one. And we are going to... I really should just put that on a hotkey. We are going to meditate. Okay, now... Next, I want to focus on the Keeper. The, Affinity of the Keeper, which affects our heavy armor. That's what I want to focus on. Maybe later down the line I'll, like, drift into, like, the discipline of the Vandal, which is the two-handed ones. But, for now we're just going to focus on this, and eventually this. For the record, two things were added in the update, the Forgotten Stories. The Phasma list, which allows you to summon apparitions that fight for you, different from like conjured creatures, and the Lycanthrope, which is pretty self-explanatory. You can turn into a werewolf or whatever. Your affinities can affect how you look, but yeah, you can there's a lot to it though. Like Wolfblood and Shimika, I'm not sure how it's pronounced. That will potentially get into eventually. Potentially, I don't know why I said it like that. Anyway, let's get out of here. Okay, time to continue. Time to continue on. Moon Carrot is, as you can see, heals you for a certain amount and then like gets drained. So I don't really need to explain that any more than it has been. Do I miss having the ability to cast spells whether my hands were tied or not? Yes. Do I appreciate the ability to dual wield, though? Yes. It's a double-edged sword. Don't mind if I do. There is something on from here that I am... Okay, so... we could use that trap to take care of this troll, but let's see what we can do. Yeah, that's not doing much. Oh, I hope I, do my talent. Believe it or not, I did not make use of talents in my first playthrough. Which was very dumb of me. Wait, is that bread still, like, active? No. Because I don't think it is. Let's, eat that pumpkin. Because I was so stupid that I walked right into the trap. And then, like, get this stuff. As you can see, just like, Nehrim, there are symbols scattered throughout the world. I call those Enderalian symbols. I also call them stop sitting on your foot, dumbass symbols. For the record, try as you may, you cannot wait in this game. That is something that I'm not the biggest fan of, but eh. Ow. I don't know what I hit, probably bones. Because for whatever reason in Skyrim, if you accidentally, like, nudge a bone, it fucking, like, breaks your spleen. I do love exploring. Ah, stabs. They, much more appealing in, usable in this game than in Oblivion, unfortunately. Okay, so we're not gonna worry about that psionic spell for now, because it does not seem to be doing us any good. I need to, like, get things sorted. Holy shit. Okay, there we go. Yeah, we should be good. Probably missed something, but I can't help it. Ah! Anamaratsu, no! In case you didn't know, I recently got done playing Okami. Come on, give me some heavy armor. That's what I really want in life. Of course, we're going to be focusing on two-handed. We're going to have to find some way to see the way. It's just like in Nehrim, lighting in this game can be a bit of a bitch thanks to how good it looks. I could probably put away this torch, though, for now. The sun sets. Ooh, that's some hell of a fucking slowdown, holy shit. I need to heal. Great, now I have the scariest thing in the world on me, a river crab. Oh, so I'm gonna need to remember that I actually can see where things are coming from. Okay, I think that was it. Yes. Yep. There are mounds to dig. And they do not look quite as right. No, not something I want. I think I'd rather wear the vagrant dress. If I'm gonna look good. Okay, we're pulling out that torch now. Sorry if it sounds like I'm making a play-by-play, I'm just trying to think. Okay, I think this is... yes, thank God. Okay, we finally have some heavy armor. It's gonna slow us down a bit, but it's good to get comfy with it early on. In case you're wondering what that weird noise is, it's, has to do with the Phasmalist thing. We can't take advantage of it right now. Also gonna have to hotkey the pickaxe too, before I forget. It is very beneficial to us to at least learn some skill in craftsmanship. Smithing, or handicraft, that's what it's called. God, we look kind of like an idiot. That will just get progressively worse and worse. No, not really. Oh, almost missed these. Got some boots now. Granted, makes us even slower, but still something. Oh, yeah, that bread's wearing off. I see no reason not to use this. Probably not as useful as some of the talents, like, early on, but it's still something. going to avoid going too far to the west right now. Because there is stuff I want to look for. Okay. No, actually. You have to excuse me, adjusting from Oblivion to Skyrim is kind of culture shock. Enderal more so, because it's... Well, actually, just general, it's been a while since I played Skyrim, so... Get a hood on, coin purse... Iron dagger do more for knife than a knife. A kniff. About the same. Okay, I don't really see anything else we can do, so I'm just going to continue on. I lied. Let's do some more exploring. Well, it's like as pitch because we're trapped by our violent souls. Deep minds to deep rhymes could keep my self-control. Okay, that. Hell is my confinement within this torch just went the fuck out. I guess I have no point. I mean, no, problems with pulling out my, psionic spell then. Where are you, fucking shithill? Okay. I cannot see. I do not like that. Because not seeing is going to make me miss a lot of things. And we cannot wait, as I said. I'm gonna wait until I get one for handicraft to worry about that. Is handicraft the one I want to worry about? I'm gonna worry about handicraft and rhetoric, because rhetoric is pretty important for some things. I'm going to eat that ice claw before anything happens. Okay, we ate that ice claw before anything happened.
Now would you look at that? I knew I'd seen someone scrambling in the mountains. What brings you here, my dame? Who am I? Finn Delires, Apothecarius by my path. Pleased to meet you. And you are at Sun Coast, in the south of Enderal. Where are you from? But wait, don't tell me. I know that accent. Nehrim, isn't it?
There we go. Everything's locked up. At least for the night we should. Wait a second. Who's that?
Just an adventurer on her way. No reason to worry.
No reason to worry? For heck's sake, Finn. How do you know that this girl isn't with the bandits? You said you'd call me if anyone showed up. And now you're standing here, having a chat with her as if we were in the bathing house of Ark.
Lo and behold, we are still alive. Now, is there anything else, Carbos?
I've got my eye on you. Touch any of our stuff, and you'll regret it. Unbelievable.
May I present Carbos, as he lives and breathes. Sorry about that just now. That's just how he is. In any case, if you don't need any more help, I'd suggest you move on. Follow the way east behind the dam house. It'll lead you to a village called Riverville. Ah, here, take this. Truth be told, you don't look so healthy. Your eyes... well, whatever. Yeah, why not? Show me what you've got. Maybe I have some things you can use. Us? Oh, nothing spectacular, I'm afraid. We gather herbs, but tomorrow we're going back north, to League. You should stop by one day if you're in the area. Someone who scours Pyrian ruins and survives could surely be useful to the apothecary and help us find some things. Well, what can I tell you? This is the Sun Coast, in the south of Enderal. A pretty peaceful area, except for all the animals and bandits that have recently started going crazy. And, well, that's pretty much it. I think you should ask the people in Riverville if you want to know more. They certainly have some stories to tell. To an adventurer? If you ask me, what you need before you adventure anywhere is some good old-fashioned shut-eye. But yes, there are some places. The Three River Watch, for example, right there below the stone arch. It was once an old trading post, but now it's full of shady characters. Ah, and there's also a big Pyrian ruin south of it. By the Black Guardian, you really are an outlander, aren't you? My path is... well, it's just me path. My role designated to me by Malthus. A kind of calling, if you will.
I killed Malthus. As I said, Nehrim spoilers.
Not exactly. Malthus designates our place in society, generally the same one our fathers and forefathers occupied. I walk the path of the erudites, and there's also the manufacturers, the sublimes, and, of course, the pathless. Within these roles, we are free to choose a profession, but certain vocations that are available to an erudite are not permitted to a manufacturer, which is one path below. However, below does not mean that it is in any way inferior. Everyone on Enderal does what they do best, and who would know better than the gods what exactly that is? Men or women who have never received the path consecration, or those who have broken their path. Brigands, glimmer dust smugglers, murderers, well, you know. In the folly of my youth, I might have thought about it, yes. But then I realized that half of what goes wrong in this world has to do with the desire to advance. I am interested in living the righteous path and to contribute to the preservation of my people. That's enough for me, and only the faithful will be granted the eternal pass upon death. And over here, there's a rumor that the Golden Queen has a weakness for men in gowns. Seriously, be careful with that kind of gossip. I know you don't mean any harm, but there are a few who might consider it heresy. Well, I didn't come up with it. Don't mention it. I wish you a quick recovery and safe roads. Walk blessed. Carbos, do we need the still tomorrow? Or can I clean all the tools?
Places, Finn, I'm playing. Don't bother me.
I guess that means no. By the righteous path? What happened to you? You look as if you've met the Black Guardian himself. Fever? Well, there could be many causes. Wait a moment. I think I still have some grunt root. That should be enough to ease your pain, at least for now. Take a seat at the fire. The warmth might help you.
So now we're brewing potions for complete strangers.
Well, if the strangers are about to die of fever, then yes. There was that oath we swore once, remember? To help the afflicted, to...
Whatever.
Thank you. Gruntrudes, Gruntrudes. Ah, here we go. So, let's see. Sheer cup, some water. Ha! Done. I can't make any promises,
Shit.
but...
Finn! The still!
Do something, damn it! Do something! Oh, no. Oh, sod it.
Do I really have to watch every step you take? That was a fucking close call.
Hey, I'm sorry, alright. We'll pick up a new one in Ark.
Yeah, you're paying for it. Yeah, I thought this bloody day couldn't get any worse.
This day isn't getting any better. Here, drink this. It'll help you. See, you already look a lot better. Still, you should let a priest take a look at that fever as soon as possible. The grunt root potion will wane in a few days. What? You mean the still? Bad quality, and too much heat, I'd wager. But, yeah, whatever will be, will be. Explosion. I'm not sure I follow.
Oh, that'd be great, wouldn't it? Finn Dalleries. Died in 8234. Cause of death, exploding still.
Ha ha. Look, I really don't know what you're talking about. Maybe...
Wait a second. What was that? I could have sworn I saw something moving over there. Oh, shit!
What the? Carbos!
They've hit me, Finn. Those bastards. They've hit me.
Carbos, do something, damn it! Do...
Now look at that. Our mysterious survivor has awoken.
Hey there, handsome.
Dispar Matumiel Delveric. Dispar for short. And you, my friend, are at my very own campsite. Before you ask, yes, the bandits killed both of the apothecary. The only reason you're still alive is that the impact of the explosion threw you right into the thicket. Most of your injuries are only superficial, but your fever, well, it's a different story. I was on the perimeter, and no, I didn't help for two reasons. One, I was outnumbered. Two, I'm quite fond of my entrails. I wish I had a more heroic answer, but I don't. Sorry. Quite a lot, actually. You're suffering from Arcanist's fever. Honestly, I'm surprised the old apothecarius didn't see that. Let me guess, you're suddenly capable of doing things you previously knew only from the Bard songs, right? You're unusually strong, you have reflexes like a cat, and drinking potions or any kind of magically infused substance leaves a bitter afterglow in your head. Well then, congratulations. Your magical talent just blossomed. A bit late, given your age, but it happens. Put simply, the fever is a result of your body not being able to cope with it. It's not much of a problem for now, but if you don't let an Arcanist treat you sometime soon, things are going to get grim. Contain it, not cure it. From here on out, you're always going to be a little more sensitive than someone without magical gifts. But that's tolerable compared to what your magic will allow you to do. Prone to certain conditions. As I said, your fever will get worse if you drink healing potions. But you'll also be a lot more susceptible to nightmares and those kinds of things. Also, you should be very cautious of areas with magical contamination, such as Thalgard in the east. At first, diffuse headaches, general unease. Later on, your eyesight will blur, your limbs will grow weak, and you'll get a maddening itch all over your body. If you leave it untreated for too long, you'll either die or turn into an Orbaya. Yes, it can kill you. Everything has its price, as the wise hermit likes to say. And an Orbaya is basically a giant undead version of yourself with tumors and pus all over your body. Just never let the fever get too bad. Well, there's ambrosia, but for an uncontained fever, it will only postpone the symptoms. Later, you can drink it whenever the fever gets worse. The stuff looks and tastes like undead sweat, and is bloody expensive, but it's the only thing that really helps. You have visions? Not that I know of. The only visions I've ever had are those that come along with a good pipe of peace weed. You know what? As I said, someone needs to contain your fever as soon as possible. And as it happens, I know people. But in return, I want you to tell me everything. What did you do in that temple? And what's the story with those visions? I can't put my finger on it, but there's something strange about you, and that intrigues me. What do you say? Well then, the stage is yours. I see.
condolences for your loss. So, let me summarize. You somehow survived getting thrown into the open sea. While you were half dead, had this dream in which you saw burnt bodies and a blinding light. Huh. You also said that your magic didn't develop gradually, as it usually does, but all at once, right? Well, that's quite the story. I guess you know how absurd it sounds, but for some reason, I believe you. I've met a lot of liars in my life, and you aren't one of them. All right, it's settled then. I'll introduce you to my employer and ask him to treat you. Before we leave, however, there's something else I need to take care of, and I can use a hand. The sooner we get that done, the sooner we can make for Ark. Ark? The capital of this country? Walls high as towers of iron-hard stone rest alone in the mountains in granite enthroned, never decaying, the ages surveying, guarded by Malthus, and blah, 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 and so on and so forth. You're going to see it soon. Well, aren't you curious? I work for the Holy Order. Yeah, but they're more than just a military unit here. Enderal belongs to Malthus, the guardian god, and the Order answers directly to him. In other words, they're calling the shots here. No king, no queen, no council. Just an order of noble warriors, always looking so stern and joyless that you might think they're struggling with constipation. Up to you. But without me accompanying you, the guards won't let you into the Sun Temple in Ark. And that's the only place you can get your fever treated. Splendid. You'll need some information before you can help me, though. I take it the fact that Vin has seen better times hasn't eluded your attention, has it? For the last 2 years, there have been wars and unrest everywhere. And even though in Enderal there are peculiar things happening here, too. Normally docile animals and tears attacking wanderers in the open. The dead awakening in hordes. It's unsettling, to say the least. The strangest thing, however, is the Red Madness. Yeah, the rumors. I've heard them too. And I could indeed imagine that they're true, and that there's a connection, yes. As I said, maybe. If you ask me, the Lightborn were never more than imposters anyway. False gods. Well, they usually leave the thinking to their holy order. And they, of course, deny everything. But as much as I hate to say it, maybe it's better this way, at least for now. A spiritual crisis is the last thing this country needs at the moment. Oh, I'm hardly representative. I've seen that a long life is only one of the things powerful magic can achieve. And the false deity theory isn't that new, after all, is it? Seriously, say the Lightborn really are as mighty as the revelations say they are. Wouldn't they have the power to call down lightning on me right here and right now, to punish me for my insolence? No. The Lightborn were immortal kings, and that's all. At least, that's how I see it. I hope I didn't hurt your feelings. We're going to get along just fine. But we digress. Yeah. It's some kind of mental illness that makes people lose their mind. Just a couple of weeks ago, there was a smith in Ark who butchered his entire family. He was drunk, but that doesn't explain why he screamed things like "Fear the light" while he was doing it. Or a young woman, Noble Pat, who set her own house on fire while her family was asleep. Now, you might say that these kinds of things happen, but by now there have been more than a dozen incidents in a very short period of time. The fact that the afflicted's eyes glow red while they go rampant has made people call the disease the Red Madness. Thing is, some weeks ago it happened again, only this time it was a magister from the Holy Order itself. A teacher who instructs the novices aspiring to become keepers. His name was Yarrow. A man with more than 60 winners on his back. Well, according to the sole survivor, he entered the teaching room that day as usual, but instead of giving his lecture on alchemy, he gave a strange kind of speech where he kept going on about how mankind is corrupted and that it has succumbed to the void. And his eyes started glowing, he locked the door and blew himself up in a magical explosion. Yes, it is. I'm not one for vows and austerity, so no, I'm no keeper. My specialty is recovering lost things. Treasures, tomes, memories, and the like. And the Order hired me to do just that. They want to know how a man like Yarrow could fall victim to red madness. And thus, if there's something like a pattern to this malady. Doesn't matter. Yarrow grew up in a small village not far from here. And according to the Order, he visited it quite often after his partner died. What I want your help with is finding clues as to why he did evil. What do you think? Great. First of all, I want you to travel to Riverville and talk to an old man named Alfred, a childhood friend of Yarrow's. Ask him what he makes of the incident, and whether he has any explanation for it. Secondly, a farm boy told me that he saw Yarrow throw something into the sea during his last visit there. The winds have been blowing inland the last couple of days, so go search the shoreline and see if it washed up. I myself will take a look at the house Yarrow grew up in. Ah, and here. This is the map of the region. Yarrow's house is at the blue dot. So, unless there's anything else, I'd say let's step to it. Just meet me at the farm when you're done.
Quests are not leveled in this game, so they are labeled with difficulty. They're labeled by difficulty, and also I want to show something about the map. It is a paper map. It is very interesting, to say the least. I'm glad that they did this, instead of just having it like the old Skyrim map. You can see it's on a little table. Or a big table. I appreciate that they did this. As you can see, Enderal is nothing to sneeze at, as far as size goes. We collected a book titled The Butcher of Ark. The Butcher of Ark was a series of titles, not series of titles, series of parts of a story that SureAI released before the release of the game. And they are readable within the game. So, if you like reading, there's something to read. Thankfully, we no longer have to worry about shit like willpower and intelligence. As much as I miss those stats. Speaking of stats... as you can hear, there's music from Nehrim sprinkled in here. It's neat. It's kind of like how music from Arkwin was sprinkled in Nehrim. That's another nice call. I'm going to eat a pumpkin. I don't remember if I've ever read that. Or if that was even there when I first played the game. Toss down a quick save since we're getting into dangerous territory. Ooh, fuck. Case in point. I do not have quite the amount of health to work with when it comes to falling long distances as I did in Nehrim. Actually, before we bother with that, I want to go back this way, because I think this is, the direction the, guys were. As you can see in this game, we have sprinting. Yay! But it eats stamina. Boo! We should be okay, though. Unlike Oblivion, I don't think damage is affected by your fatigue. Still gonna, like, focus on raising it, though. And obviously extra, like, carry space is good. I feel like spiders. I've not been poisoned, you've been poisoned. I should probably pop an ambrosia. Come on. Also, for whatever reason, the music is layering over itself. Not necessarily meant to do damage, it's more so meant to, like, stun. God, do I wish I could see what I wouldn't kill for a, Mage Light spell. Aldous Root and Vin Root. Good to keep in mind. One of that Nehrim's music. I'm sorry. Oh. I thought that said Preg, and I'm like, what the fuck? I don't remember my Luigi being this pregnant. That was awful, I'm sorry. Don't mind if I do. I'm always tempted to turn on, like, I don't remember this game has light bright, but I'm tempted to turn it on if it has it. I'm mostly looking for healing stuff. What do I get out of it if I distill it now? And just par, you could have set me up with a torch. Oh, jeez. Eat shit. Oh wait, he had a lockpick. Fortunately, we cannot take their potions. As much as you'd wish that we'd be able to, like, loot the money that we paid. The bandits were ahead of us. Yep, no torches. I'm gonna have to come back with torch. There we go. Might as well do that. Oh, oops. Torch. Some Enderal and crusty bread. Might as well put those on.
Blazes. Sorry. I know. I can't sing.
I like you can sing just fine. I also think that my fucking, like, wrist itches like a motherfucker. I keep forgetting that I can run. Okay, this looks much better. Now I can actually see. Ah, fuck it, take all. It is really hard to read. This is much better. I can actually fucking see. Huh? Expect a slow start for a while. As we make ourselves comfortable, as it were. Unfortunately, in this game you cannot pick any lock. You have to have the disciplines of the, I think it's Vagrant in order to do that. No, not Vagrant. Just look at the hero menu and find it out. The perfect time to do it, I know. The Trickster, that's what it's governed under. I hope you like platforming, because it's the only way we're going to get up there. It's not too bad, but It's not like Nehrim platforming, that's for damn sure. Holy fucking shit. Fuck. Let's see if we can make the jump. There we go. Of course, I just jumped into a fucking rat pit. Thankfully, there weren't too many of them. Hey, look, it's our first two-handed weapon. Unfortunately, we cannot have a twip. Yeah, unfortunately, we cannot have a torch equipped at the same time. Is this yogurt non-fat? Nothing's non-fat. That's why the world is going to explode one day. Nice, I can even see the health of my summoned creatures. Meanwhile, I fucking smoke peace weed while I fucking sit in the middle of blood. That was something they added in a later update, for the record. Probably should have thought this through. Fug. Yeah, made love to the floor. Make sure I didn't forget to, like, claim a memory point.
Now look at that. Lonesome traveler. Some folks would never.
Yeah, desecrating grave, yeah. By dumping dirt on it. Oh boy. And give me a book for something that I want. Man, you a full-grown rat. You don't need that shit. I don't know. It's just a thing that came to mind. Ah, yes, backpacks. Backpacks are very much needed. Because they give you carrying capacity and cover their own inventory space or equipment slot. By the way, there are wolves coming after us. That or is what that thing was hauling. Oh god. Come on, Avi, save me. I'm gonna die. Okay. This is one of the reasons why I usually do magic, because it's very rough early on, otherwise.
A golden chalice, a grass-colored stone. Bring me back this, so I shan't be alone. Bring my heart back to me.
Okay, for the record, I didn't understand what she was looking for a long time. Apparently, she wants an emerald, and the other one is pretty literal, a golden chalice. Which I am not sure where to... I mean, I have an idea where one is, but I don't know if that's the only place to find one. Drink some fucking goat milk. And if I do... Try not to accidentally misclick and read one of the books and waste a point. That is not a well that we can do anything with, and this is Yarrow's house. We can't do anything here just yet, other than explore the perimeter. And get attacked by rats. Fucking little shits. I think originally when this book, when the game came out, this book, that skull was a fucking broken JPEG, I believe. I had no choice. My mouth was a broken JPEG. It wasn't even an attempt at a Bub's voice. I do love when it's as simple as that. Fortunately, those are light armor. Not always. Right, yeah, there are armor sets, just like in Nehrim in this game. And from my experiences, they're typically better than the stuff that you can craft, so... You know, just like actual Nehrim. I'm so glad I prefer form over function. I mean, function over form. I might not even be using that word right. Basically, I'm trying to say is I prefer things that work better than things that look better. Damn, you really be doing me like that? Oh, look at the tiny little chest. Isn't it so adorable? Oh, look at the crabs. They want to kill us. Not the hand I meant for it to go into, but whatever. The start is always very rough for these games. Not nearly as rough. I think, like, Arkwin was actually the least rough. It just wasn't very, like, good at telling you where to go. Okay, I'd silently read these letters, but, I mean, these, books, but, well, I'll just show you.
Yesterday, Sarah and I sat in the living room. She said something I can't get out of my head. The greatest peril in life is forgetting one's own ideas. These letters
I'm going to step away from the ocean so we might be able to hear it better. Once I can figure out how to step away from the ocean. Step away from the ocean! Oh, this is probably the best we can do.
Letter 2, 8186 after Starfall. 15 years have passed since my last letter. Sira and I now live together in a small house in Ark. It's been 5 years since I undertook the holy trial, but despite what I thought, I did not join the military wing of the Order. Instead, I became a magister. Why? Because the children I teach will shape the future of this world. Because there is enough bloodshed already. 2 weeks ago, the Trachessa approved Sira's concept of the food bank. It obliges every wealthy citizen of Ark to pay a handful of pennies to the Order, with which the Order will provide a warm meal for the Undercity dwellers once a week. Their reactions embittered me. The decree does not ask for much, yet they protested as though we threatened to take their homes. I will never understand people like them. As sad as this may sound, I am happy. My life provides me with a feeling of purpose, and I still have Sira at my side after all these years. It is strange, even though I know you will never read these lines, it almost feels as if through them I can speak to you. Sira, I love you. Sira is dead, killed by 2 Undercity dwellers as she helped prepare the food bank. How swiftly these words are written, yet how can I even remotely begin to express this pain, this void? Sira always said it helps to write, yet it doesn't. I sit here watching the ink dry and the letters form the words of a stranger. A stranger in my own body. I am a stranger when I wake up in the morning. I am a stranger when the sun sets at dusk. I am a stranger when I lie in bed at night. The path condemns suicide as a crime because we all have a purpose in this world. But what is mine? I look ahead and I see 30 winters of solitude. I look back and I see nothing but a trail of broken dreams. Our food bank caused brawls and murder in the Undercity. The rich forced the Trachessa to revoke the decree. So tell me, Malthus, is this my purpose? To fail? My thoughts are chaos and I'm too tired to continue writing.
I do enjoy how they, voice acted that. But, I think we'll call it there. Well, first of all, I need to, like, heal myself, maybe? Even if it's only a little. Okay, that's gonna do it for now. I'm getting into the swing of this, hopefully. My fucking summoned wolf just died. Hope y'all enjoyed. I hope to do more of this soon. The only thing I dread about doing new videos is that new videos in a series is that I have to think up tags. Fun. At least I can copy and paste them when I'm done. Anyway, I'll be seeing y'all later on. Possibly. Maybe. I don't know. Depends.